Hello YouTube, my name is Rebecca. I'm known as the Bible Girl here on YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, if you are new here, welcome. We do a lot of faith-based content here, um, talking about different types to connect with God through Bible reading, journaling, and things of that nature. We also do spend some time talking about disability. I do have cerebral palsy myself, so I enjoy discussing and sharing with you all different topics related to that in the hope that I can be of maybe comfort or understanding or even just information that maybe you weren't aware of. So I like to do that sometimes on here too. So, which is the type of video that's happening today. So today, what I wanted to just talk about when it came to not just cerebral palsy, but disability in general is mobility. So, um, mobility is a very broad topic when it comes to disability. Excuse me, I'm just going to clean my glasses real quick as I talk to you. So mobility can mean using wheelchairs or accessible vans or even other types of equipment that can help with that, and those are definitely very helpful things to use. Anything that can help you be mobile when you have a physical disability is incredibly important. But and they shouldn't be um undermined in any way. Like if your disability is one where your legs are paralyzed, like you're paraplegic, then obviously you're gonna be in your chair more than out of your chair if your legs are not able to be used for walking, crawling, or anything like that. So of course that is totally fine, and most of the time, if that is the type of disability you have, you can push your wheelchair with a manual wheelchair, and that gives you great um, exercise and use of your upper extremities, your upper half, while your lower half may not be used as much. But another type of mobility that is important is if you are capable of moving your upper and lower half, you should use that. So for me, I am able to crawl on all fours. So for me, when I'm home, I am out of my wheelchair. I am crawling. I am on all fours, going from my living room to my library, which I'm in now, to using the bathroom, to wherever I need to go in the house. There are times I do use my wheelchair in my house, but most of the time I am out. So everyone's mobility and ability to have mobility will be different, of course. But whatever skills that you do have, you need to push yourself to continue to use them, because if you don't, you will lose it in any form. And I'm not saying like lose it, like never be able to do it. I mean that could happen for some people. I'm not saying it can't, but it becomes more difficult if you don't do this or that, whatever it may be. So, for example, I bought a couch at my old house. My husband and I bought a couch that could also turn into a bed, and if I pulled out the part that would become the bed, I could technically use that to fall up onto that and then up onto the couch. Now, that was much more tasking for me than just crawling into my chairs, like my alphabet chair back there, because it was higher. So I had a low chair at my old house, and more often than not, that would be what I used, and I didn't really go on the couch. And I kind of wish I did, so that the skill of crawling onto that type of furniture would be easier and not so challenging for me, but I didn't. So that's like an example of a skill that, is I should have done more than not. But I have always crawled or been on the floor ever since I was little to get around. So that's a skill I have not lost in any way. There are things I have to change when I fall now. Like, it's really important for me. Like, you can see my runner here and the little rug over there in my library. Like, being on straight hardwood floor is very painful for my knees now that I'm in my 30s. So I just make sure I have more rugs around my home so I'm not on so much hardwood floor. Just as an example of something I've changed, just because being on harder surfaces to crawl didn't make me want to stop crawling and be in my chair all the time. It just meant that I needed more protection for my knees not to hurt. Um, and just like I forgot to disclose this in the beginning, just like any other of these videos, I'm just speaking of my own experience and what my abilities are. Some of you may be able to walk on crutches. I have a really good friend of mine who can do that, and she's able to drive and stuff. So she's always walking and doing that type of mobility. She has her chair and she uses it, but she's on her crutches more than not on her crutches. Um, and that's good. I just wasn't able to get the muscle strength to be able to use crutches or a walker for quicker mobility. My quickest way was crawling. So that's just what worked for me. So what I want to encourage, if you're a child who's watching this, and you feel like, you know, you're crawling and you feel like you want to be able to do more, but your muscles won't let you, or you're a parent or caregiver and you see that your loved one is, you're trying to push them into crawling and it's really a struggle for them, but you know that that's a skill they can have. Push them to what their ability level will be. That's my biggest advice. I feel like that happens a lot. Like, because it gets so tasking and so hard to move at times, and we don't want to struggle and our loved ones don't want to see us struggle, we'll just give up, or our loved one will step in and do it for us so we don't have to. That is, in some circumstances, that's good. For example, going back to myself, like, can I get myself dressed into a whole new outfit from top to bottom? Yeah, I could. I'm fortunate enough that I worked on that when I was young, when I did a lot of physical therapy and occupational therapy, that I did learn those skills. But it takes me a really long time to do that. What would take somebody who would be assisting me maybe 10 or 15 minutes can take me up to half an hour, if not longer, depending on how it's going. So, of course, is that a skill that that I should probably do more of, and I might get faster, maybe, but it may not. Um, but realistically, that may not be the best use of my time and energy. Whereas it was more important for me to focus on being able to move from different rooms so I wasn't stuck in one area. So like that's an example of something like, yes, it's a skill that I have, but will I more often than not ask somebody else to help me with it? Yes. But I can still do it if I absolutely had to in a pinch. So um I'm not sure where that tangent led me off to. I apologize. What I was saying before was when we struggle to do something because of our limitations, we should be pushing ourselves, not to the point of like complete, like, this isn't even a realistic goal, but we should try to get to as high a level as we can, especially when we're young. So, um, so just because something may seem like, oh, this is so hard, it's taking me 20 minutes to go from my living room to my kitchen, by falling. Well, if you continue to work at that, maybe you can cut down the time to 10 minutes. You know, it may always take that long depending on how large your house is and what your mobility level actually is. But moving on your own as independently as possible, I feel is one of the most important, what's the word I'm looking for? Important, I don't want to say aspects, but that's the only word that's coming to my mind. It's one of the most important aspects of quality of life. If if you are if you are reliant on somebody to do everything for you, and for some people that may be the case, and I'm not saying this to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm not doing. What I'm saying is, don't give up because it's hard, especially when you're young and have the ability to do it, because then you will get to a point of complete and utter frustration. And being totally reliant on others not only causes feelings of dependency, possibly sadness, depression, and whatever, self-doubt, because you're relying on others. It makes other people feel burned out too. So that's really important. So don't do that. So work at your level. Work with therapists. Work with physical therapists or occupational therapists. Work within yourself to see what you want. Cause no matter how involved we all want some level of independence. Whether that's moving around our home, feeding ourselves, driving, we all have levels that we want to get to. Some of them we may not be able to reach. I would have loved to have been able to drive a car. I unfortunately, no matter how hard I worked, will never have the reflexes and the visual processing ability to do something like that. And that's okay. I mean, did it upset me when I was young? Do I still have moments where it upsets me a little bit? Sometimes, but there's so much I am able to do that makes me feel very blessed. So that's really good. So, and if you were, believe me, if you are a teenager, a young adult watching this, and you are like, well, I have to crawl from point A to point B. I'm never gonna find someone who's gonna be cool with me doing that, or who's gonna, want to build a life with me because I have to do this, or, or they have to help me with this because I can't, like for me, like I can't get in my chair, or I can't drive the car, or I can't, um, yes, yes, it's normal to feel that way, but don't limit your independence and what your body is capable of because you're scared of what the future will hold and finding a partner, a career, or whatever based off of those things. Don't do it. Your independence is more important than that. And God alone will bring you where you need to be into the person who will accept you. I dated many people, and that may be our next topic. We'll talk about dating with disability. I think that's a really important topic, and I will definitely make a note of that. I need to start making a notebook of ideas I get because I forget them, and then I'm like, oh, did I do a video on that or whatever? That's just a little side note for me. But going back to what I was saying, your independence, your mobility should be top priority in your life, because if you don't have that, it doesn't matter how much love and support you get, you're gonna feel frustrated because every single one of us wants independence in whatever way we're able to do it. So what do I want you to take away from this video? Well, number one, I want you to know that whatever your mobility level is, be proud of that. If you can push it farther, do that. That's important. Don't give up on your mobility level, especially if you're young, because it's hard. Don't do it. Push yourself to the point where you're like, this is my limit. This is my threshold. This is how far I can go. Anything else like this is just a workout. It's not even really helping me live a good quality of life. That's number one. Number two, for the caregivers or the parents, be encouraging. Encourage your loved one to do what they can do, and be proud of what they are doing. Be encouraging. Don't look at other people and say, well, why is my son not able to do this? Why is my daughter not doing this? Because that only makes you it makes your loved one feel bad because they feel like they're not doing enough or they're letting you down. And it also makes you second guess what you're doing. Everybody is on their own journey in life and what their disability is giving and not giving. Everybody's on their own journey. So look at everything from an individual perspective. Yes, you can speak to other people, get advice from other people. That is all good. But at the end of the day, everybody is their own person and everybody's skills will be different. Okay? I think that's all I had to say. I hope that this was informative. I hope that this was helpful to you. If you have any other video ideas or questions or anything like that, please feel free to comment down below, or you can always send me an email at thebiblegirl2025@gmail.com. I would love to hear what you guys think and any ideas that you have. Thank you everyone who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate that. Thank you for watching and joining me today. I appreciate that as well. And like I did mention, I definitely want to do a topic about dating and spouse and things like that. So I will be doing that probably in the very near future. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you're not. Hit the bell to be notified when I upload. And we will talk soon. God bless. Have a good weekend. Bye.